Hello, a lot of people have asked me what happened to the pregnancy, so I thought I'd make a video explaining that, because that's one of the first things that people have said that, you know, they want an explanation for. So I think I should probably explain what happened in the first place. Well, on the 31st of March last year, it was the day before April Fool's Day, so I thought, in the middle of the night, the thought occurred to me, I could fake a pregnancy. So I faked a pregnancy. And it turned out that was quite a popular video, so it carried on, and I made a channel, and all of that stuff happened. Now, whereas, obviously it was an April Fool thing, and I didn't intentionally deceive anybody. It was supposed to be a bit of fun, but some people seem to take it quite seriously. The people who were taken in by it, I do apologise to you, that wasn't intentional. It was supposed to be something that, you know, you were sort of playing along with or not. And it was hard to see whether you were actually playing along with it or whether you were taken in by it. And I did not mean to deceive you at all. But the question is, why did that thing occur to me in the first place? And I think the answer to that is, I've always known that I was a woman, and I've always been gender dysphoric, is another way of putting it. And so the point came at which that surfaced, and I began to fake a pregnancy, which was perhaps symbolic in the birth of me as a woman. I didn't realise that I'm a complete mess. That's not really the point. The point is that I can look at this image of me on the screen in front of me here, and I can actually feel comfortable with myself. I've turned the disgust inside out. I know it looks peculiar to a lot of people, but that's not really the point. I'm not trying to pass. I'm not trying, well, I'm trying to pass to some extent, but I don't think it's very likely that I'll be able to. I'm just trying to make myself feel okay about who I am, so I can now look in the mirror and not be disgusted, which is actually a big boost to my confidence. I know it looks strange, but it was interesting the way it emerged, because the actual process of deciding to fake a pregnancy is something that's actually coming from inside me somewhere on a very deep level. And one of the things that I did in connection with it was to start taking female hormones, or so I thought. But what I had actually done was to start taking herbs which were supposedly estrogenic but actually weren't. And what happened was, when I changed those after a month, I stopped experiencing all the problems that I used to have with trying to present as male. They all dropped away, and it became okay. And I had to stick with that. I mean, why wouldn't I? Because as a herbalist, I have to have the integrity that I need to treat people for their diseases or heal them, and this was a healing process for me, so that's what I undertook, and that's what I needed to do. And it helps the people around me as well, because it makes me more confident, more successful, and more of a... His hair's a bit of a mistake, isn't it? Anyway, never mind. I think this emerged from a very deep level, and it expressed itself in that way, possibly in connection with the midlife crisis thing, which I've mentioned before. And the other thing that it did is it stopped driving my obsessive compulsive tendencies. I'm not going to call it a disorder, I'm just going to call it a tendency. And because it stopped driving that, I stopped feeling the urge to make so many videos about the pregnancy and so forth. Also, I felt that I didn't really want to abuse my body in that way. It wasn't a pregnancy, obviously, it was Plavini, as I've explained before. And so that also took away the urge to do that, and for me to have sort of more respect for my body, and to make my body concordant with what I know I am inside, which is female. And I realised that it looks like a complete mess and chaos and awful, but it only looks like that to other people. It does not look like that to me, and the confidence that brings me brings that across. So no, I wasn't pregnant, but it was in a sense the gestation of Amanda McIntyre in a man's body. And so in a way, I'm the result of that pregnancy. And I always say, well, let's just say that if you mock the goddess of pregnancy, you're going to get your balls chopped off, bitten off. And that's what happened. So there you go. Bye.